Hey guys, welcome back to Counterside. The most commonly asked for thing in the comments is a tier list. So we're going to go through some tier list stuff in this video. But before we do, we did just hit 25,000 subscribers on the channel. So massive thank you to everyone. I really do appreciate it. We're going to do a $100 giveaway. To enter that, you've basically just got to be subscribed and leave a comment on this video. Don't spam because multiple comments won't give multiple entries. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll have all the legally stuff in the description, so you can check that out if you want. But basically, about a week from now, I'll do a community post and announce the winner, and that's why you got to be subscribed so you can see the community post. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, thank you guys very much. No requirement to like or anything like that, but if you do enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. So let's get into it. Okay, so tier lists for this game. Fully honest, I have not played enough of the game and had enough experience at endgame to make a tier list for myself, but there are a million tier lists out there for this game. So this one here, by a big shout out to Hayes Nagel. I'm sorry, I suck at names, but big shout out to him. If there's anyone else that I need to shout out for this tier list, I will leave it in the pinned comment. That was the only one that I really got referenced to shout out, so there you go. But this one is what's seen in the community, in the Discord, and from higher ranked players as the more on point tier list. Now, all the disclaimers out of the way. Tier lists are very subjective in this game, depending on what characters, what players have used. You know, not everyone's tested every character, so you can't fairly compare them. So take it with a massive grain of salt. Also, this tier list is from February on the KR server. So it does have some characters that won't be available at global, but what I wanted to do with this video was take a look at this tier list, and you can use it as a reference. It's not going to be like this is like the set tier list, because obviously metas change with different heroes, because maybe if there's a new top hero that comes into a game, then there's going to be something else that counters it which gets dragged up in the tier list and stuff like that. If there's a new overpowered hero that just demolishes a hero that used to be high, that hero will get dropped lower. So just take this one with a massive grain of salt, but it's a fantastically organized tier list. And once we get into the English version, I will start making my own tier list once I have more experience, and I think I'll keep with this format. So this format's amazing. It's got PvP, PvE, for all the different types of units. So just because there's so many units in this game, it would get completely cluttered if you try to do them all in one tier list. So I really like this format. I like the spread out of it. So this is the format I'll probably use going forward when I get more experience and make my own tier list. But if you pull heroes, you're curious, are they good? Are they okay? Are they horrible? You can come to this, you can get a rough guide on what you want to do. So we're going to go through these tier lists. As you can see, this one's going to be the tanks for PvE. Obviously this dude over here, I don't know their names because when you're playing Korean, you can't see their names. I'll get used to their names once we get the English version. But he's an SR, and he's a pretty solid tank in both PvE and PvP. So he's the only one of these units that's actually in the game at launch, at least I assume. So he's a really good one to pick up. This chick here, which has the big javelin thing, she's pretty good at PvE. This chick with the lollipop as well, also decent for PvE, but they both do fall off, as you can see, and drop right down the bottom in PvP. So my pick for the tank is definitely going to be the dude with white hair, and then either the javelin or the lollipop girl, and that should be your two tanks out of the way for progression pretty much. Next up, we do have PvE. These guys not in the game, I'm pretty sure, at launch, but we do have this Mafia style girl. She is fantastic. She reduces the deployment cost of your units. I really do like her. So she's a really nice one to pick up as well. As we move down, we do have this rare unit over here. She's got a big chainsaw. She's actually really nice. She has some damage mitigation for herself and stuff like that. And as we move further on, we do have Esterosa here. Now, she's one of the 5 stars you can reroll for. She's down here because I think this tier list was made on endgame. She's absolutely fantastic in the early game, but she definitely does fall off. I've heard there is some decent PvP strategies with her when you've got certain units, but I'm not completely across that. So she does get a low one on this rating, but keep in mind, early game, she is absolutely fantastic. Then as we move on to the PvP ratings, like I said, we have the DPS here, we have the Mafia girl there, and that's pretty much it. And then the rest sort of falls into the same sort of thing. Moving on from that, we go here for another PvE list, and these guys aren't too bad. So up here, We can obviously see Kyle here. He's the one that's suggested to reroll for, because as you can see, it was a tier list further on into the game. He's still top rank of PvE. He drops to second rank in PvP, but still a really strong unit. We also have, I think her name's Elizabeth, I want to say, in there. The guy we start with, which is fantastic. This girl here is an SR who's really solid as well. And this is the free SSR that we all get through playing the game. So there's a bunch of good units that you can build your teams around from these ones, especially for PvE. And as we jump into the PvP side of things, as you can see, Kyle's there. Elizabeth, I think it's Elizabeth. It starts with E. That's all I can remember. But Dagger Chick, she still holds her own up there, so she must scale better into the end game. Who knows? We might re-roll for her instead of Kyle, because waifu over meta, you know, that whole stuff. And then we do have the dude we start with again, who is getting a slot in there as well. And then as we move on to PvE for snipers, as you can see, this SR chick that we do start with, fantastic at the start of launch. These top two probably aren't going to be in the game yet. And then we do have the SSR that you can reroll for as well. I think her name's Zhao. So, you know, those two both good, but the SR that we will get, I think we get her with the pre-registration stuff, is nice because she still holds that tier 1 down here in the PvP as well. As we move on to the support class characters, as you can see for PvE, this SR unit is really strong. I believe this SSR in the middle, she is going to be the first banner, so not a bad one to do a couple pulls on. I don't know if I will personally. I'll have to wait and see, have a bit more of a think about it, whether I will. This chick here, she's another one that you can reroll for as well in that multi-pull that you get at the start, but obviously I still think Kyle is going to be the one to go for. And then when we move to PvP, those two just drop down a tier into the tier 1, not as solid in PvP. And then this final one is going to be for siege and tower units and their rankings. These two not in the game yet. I don't even know if she's in the game yet. I know that this chick is the tier 2. She's a SR. She should be in the game. She was on the early beta, but yeah, you pretty much got the same for both of those. I'm still not 100% certain on the usage and strategy for using tower and siege units, so I'm probably going to avoid them in my playthrough. But that gives you a quick roundup. Once again, that will be linked in the description. You guys can jump to this and have a look, open up your own will. So if you pull a unit, you just literally go, is it a tank? Okay, is it good in PvE and PvP? Sweet. And I think the way you use this as a rough guide for your team building is find things that are good in PvE, because that's the most important thing for early progression, but also try and slot in characters that are also good at PvP. So in the tank section, you'll go the dude with the grey hair, because he's good, he's an SR and he's good at PvE, but he's also good in PvP, whereas the others that are recommended up here, the other rare units, they're good in PvE, but they fall off in PvP. So that's the way I'm going to balance mine. Try and balance characters that are good in both, so I can keep some solid progression going. Like I said, this Mafia girl, she's definitely one that I'm going to want on my team. I just really like the way she operates, because I have played with her a fair bit on the KR version. And then, yeah, you can just balance your team around that. And away you go. So that is the tier list. Keep in mind, once again, not every unit on this tier list is in the game. It was just the best thing I had to go with. And once, probably maybe a couple weeks into global, if we're at a good enough stage of knowledge of the game then and the actual meta for where global's at, then I will make my own tier list. But for now, the link's in the description. Go check it out. And once again, big shout out to the community. I love communities that do stuff like this, and this is there's a lot of effort that went into this tier list. So big shout out to Hayes Nagel. Sorry if I butchered the name there, but really do appreciate it. Anyway, guys, once again, big thanks for the 25,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.